Scholars! I'm here to help you with your first grade skills lessons. Today we're on Unit 2, Lesson 7. My name is Miss James. Let's get started. Our objectives for today are to distinguish between common nouns and proper nouns, read decodable phrases with long vowel patterns and tricky words, and read with purpose and understanding, as well as answer questions about a story. Let's jump right into our nouns. Remember, a common noun is something that names a person, place, or thing, and a proper noun is a name of a person, place, or thing. Like school is a common noun. There are other schools out there. A proper noun would be the name of a school, like the name of our school. What's the name of your school? That's a proper noun. What about teachers? There's a lot of teachers in your school, but what's the name of your teacher? That's a proper noun. Teachers are common nouns, but my name, Miss James, is a proper noun. Just like kids in your class. There's a lot of kids or students. Kids and students are both common nouns. But what's your name? That's a proper noun. Anyone's name is a proper noun. Even your dog's name, or your cat's name, or any of your pets. Remember we talked about Wong the snake? Snake is a common noun, but his name, Wong, is a proper noun. Next, I want you to read what it says on the screen and complete that task. So, read what it says on the screen right now, and then I want you to do it. What does it say to do? That's right, it says hop 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Did you hop 3 times? Great job. Let's look at another one. Read what it says on your screen and then do that. What does it say on your screen? I see a couple of letter teams. Don't forget wave, wave, and smile, smile, wave and smile. Just like that. Here's another one. Read what it says on the screen and complete the task. What does it say on the screen? It says, hiss like a snake. That means you've got to hiss like a snake. Ready? Great job. One more. Read what it says on the screen and then complete that task. What is the screen telling you now? Oh, this is one of our tricky words. Be a tree. Be a tree. Get some branches. There you go. Great job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Good practice reading. It's more fun when you get to do something. Next, we're going to look at our tricky words. We're going to go through them kind of quickly, so repeat after me. Are you ready? Get set. And go. A, are. 2, when. I, from. Do, where. No, word. 2, why. So, were. Who, what. Of, had. Said, which. All, one. Says, here. Some, once. Was, there. And that's the last one. Take a big breath. That took a lot of my air to say those that quickly, but great job. We're really getting the hang of this. If you keep practicing, then you'll be able to say them as quickly as I can. Soon, you'll have to tell me the words. Next, we're going to look at a new story in our Gran book. Gran is adventurous, and she likes to try new things. Let's see what she wants to try today. The next story is At the Reef. Do you know what a reef is? A reef is an underwater ridge or a bump that's underwater made of sand, rocks, or some coral in the ocean. It can have a lot of different fish and other sea life living around it. Remember, when we talk about a reef, it's a little bump under the water. Let's look at some words we'll need to know for today. Repeat after me. Reef, meat, sea, eels, bees. Those all have the sound E in them. Let's head over here. These have I. Like, Mike, ride, 9, miles, drive, dive, glide, smile, time, hive. And we've got a couple tricky words. He, she. Let's check out our vocabulary. We have miles. Miles are a unit of distance. It's how far something is. You might have asked your parents before, how long do we have to go? And they might have said, well, it's 5 miles. Or they might have said 50 miles if you're going really far. The next word we have is eels. Eels are long fish that look like a snake. They live underwater. The next word we have is hang glide. Hang glide is something that a person can do. They wear a parachute and jump off a high spot up in the air, and they float down. You'll see in our story what hang glide means. And hive. You might already know that a hive is where bees live. I wonder what we're going to see in this story. Read to find out what types of adventures Gran had at the reef. Remember, she's at the reef today. Now, you guys are getting great at reading, but I want to help you too. So, I want you to pause the video, read this page. When you're finished, unpause the video and I'll read it with you. That way, if you missed anything, we can work on it together. So pause the video now, pause it, and read this page. Then when you're all finished, press play, and I'll read along with you. At the Reef. Josh asked Gran what it was like when she went to the reef. Well, Gran says, it was a lot of fun. I made a plan to meet my pal Mike. I had to ride my bike 9 miles to the reef to meet Mike. That is a long ride, says Jen. See, Gran is on her bike riding to the reef. Now I want you to do the same thing on this page. Pause the video here. Read this page on your own the best you can. Then when you're all finished, press play and we can read it together. When I got there, I went on a dive to see the fish and the eels. With Mike? Josh asked. No, Gran says. Mike did not dive with me. He went to hang glide. Did he like it? Jen asks. Not so much, Gran says with a smile. Why not? Asked Josh. It must be lots of fun to hang glide. So here's the person hang gliding up in the corner there. See, he's floating off into the air. And here's Gran down here. She's diving. We've got one more page in this story. Now, same thing. I want you to pause the video here. Pause it. Read the page. Then press play and I'll read it with you. Did he crash? Asks Jen. No, says Gran, but he did have a bad time. When it was time to land, he hit a hive of bees. He got stung 10 times. Yikes, says Jen. Oh my goodness. That's why he had a bad time hang gliding. I would not want to be stung by 10 bees. Let's go back in the story and look at some more. On this page, they said, that's a long ride. Jen said, that's a long ride. There's quotation marks around this. That means it's exactly what Jen said. That is a long ride, were the words that she said, because they're in quotation marks. How do you think Gran feels about this long ride? She looks like she doesn't mind because she has a smile on her face while she's riding. And it looks like, if you look closely, there's something in the back there. We knew that she went for a dive, but here she's got her fins. That might be why she's excited to go for her dive. Let's look at the next page. So here it says, when I got there, I went on a dive to see the fish and the eels. What does she mean when she said she went for a dive? It looks like she went underwater so she could look at the fish and the eels because they're all underwater. And then we talked about Mike and his hang gliding. Josh said it must be lots of fun to hang glide. Why do you think Mike did not like to hang glide? That's right. We found out on the next page that it wasn't really the hang gliding he didn't like, but when he got down, what happened? He got stung 10 times. Do you think that's good or bad? Yeah, that's not something we would like to have happen. We don't want to get stung 10 times. Let's look at some more questions from this story. How far did Gran have to ride her bike? Do you remember what that page said? We can look back at the story to find out. Let's see. I had to ride my bike 9 miles to the reef to meet Mike. So, how far did Gran have to ride her bike? 9 miles, that's right. What did Gran do while at the reef? She went for a dive to see the eels and fish. What did Gran's friend Mike do? Mike didn't go for a dive. He went hang gliding through the air. How did Mike's hang gliding go? Well, we learned that he didn't crash, but he did have a bad time at the end because he ran into a bee's hive and got stung 10 times. So it did not go so well. We use the word adventurous to describe Gran. After today's story, are there any other words you might use to describe her? Can you think of anything else you would say about Gran? I might say that she seems kind of fearless. She's not really afraid of anything. She went in the water with some eels and some fish. That's really brave. I don't know if I would want to do that all by myself. Next, the last thing we have is page 7.1 questions. Again, there will be a Google form for you, so you can just fill these out in the form and then submit them to your teacher. That's all we've got for today. Great work, and I'll see you next time.